Begin. Welcome to Cacao with Cara. I'm Cara, and this is my guest this week, Patty Alfonso, joining me. And we're going to be talking about women's power. So, women are brilliant, powerful beyond measure, and the secret to reshaping our world. So, in this 8-week series, we talk all about women's genius, their unique gifts, life purpose, personal vision, and desires for the world they want to live in. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. That and whatever else genius ideas come to us while we're talking.
Who knows?
Excellent. Okay, so welcome, Patty. I'm going to just introduce you, and then I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and then we'll dive into our topic today. So Patty Alfonso, let's see, we know each other through S Factor. That's how we originally met. And then we ended up living in the same city as each other in Studio City, Los Angeles, and becoming very close friends. And we now teach S Factor together at the same studio in Burbank. And it turns out we have a lot more in common than simply S Factor, which is already a lot to have in common. But what I know about Patty is she is like the embodiment of just pure joy and approval. And so if you spend time with her, if you're around her, you just know you get a direct infusion of the feminine of being around her. It's really clear in the work that she's done in her life, and what she's here to embody is the feminine and is the erotic, because that is the feminine power, is the erotic. And she is an incredible transmission of that. She doesn't even have to open her mouth, just her aura, just her essence. And she creates beauty everywhere that she goes and with everyone that she is with. So I get to benefit from that. And it has been, she's an incredible resource for me as a sister on the path. I think it was like 2 weeks ago that I really needed a friend to hug and cry, to hug while I was crying. And she was that friend. It was after an S Factor class. And that is one of the incredible things that we offer each other as women, is that strong spine, that feminine spine to feel all of our emotions. And that's another beautiful thing that Patty really supports in the women around her, is feeling all of our emotions fully, not letting any of them get stuck, and then the genius of our emotions. So that's my introduction for Patty. And Patty, I would love for you to intro yourself. Tell us about you and what you do and what you want us to know.
That was the yummiest introduction with zero credentials. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for that most heartfelt, honest introduction about your experience of me. And so I'm honored to be here with all of you. Thank you for inviting me. Tell you about myself. I am an erotic priestess, which includes, S Factor and many other modalities that I'm not going to waste your time mentioning at the moment. In this current version of myself and my business and my purpose on this planet, it is about the union between the body, the being, and the beloved. As above, so below. And that work, I know we're going to get into this a little bit later, but I feel like that's really it in terms of my introduction. That's where I am today in this moment, and that's where my path is leading me. I did not grow up with this connection to my body. It was something that I really had to work for. And even though, I mean, my light has always been pretty bright, not gonna lie, but I also want to acknowledge the struggles that I experienced in my life and the shadows and the darkness that added to the brightness of my light. It is my opinion that if you are suppressing, well, my opinion, this is, if you're suppressing your anger, your rage, your sadness, your disappointment, if you're suppressing all of those things, then you're also suppressing, all of the other things that are available to you. Lust, joy, like if you're turning something down, everything is going to get turned down. So my journey has been traversing through those shadows, through that darkness without judging it. I had moments of judgment, and the practice of not judging that so that I can have full access to the joy and the love that is available to all of us. So I have chosen to come here to express, to express both sides. And in S Factor, we don't have a judgment around the dark, right? And so I'm not speaking about nefarious energies. I'm speaking about the truth of human experience and what we have all come here to experience, which is the big umbrella is Eros, life force energy. And under that, there's light, there's dark, there's shadow, there's everything. And so we've come here to experience all of it. And I think that's good for my introduction.
Thank you. And so I know you have you've been studying for years. You've been studying the feminine for years. You have many lineages that you hail from. So, like I know Erotic Blueprint is
Mhm.
one that you work very closely with. Um, Obviously, S Factor. And then what are some of the other lineages that you feel like that you use like daily or like have the biggest impact in your life?
Yeah, thank you for that. Right now, I'm really expanding into the lineage of the priestess. I'm an initiate of the 13 Moon Mystery School, which is all about the divine feminine. I'm also really in awe and gratitude for the masculine and the divine masculine that not only is within all of us, but within, well, it is within all of us, right? So for me, anything that brings those two to balance, I've studied a lot of Tantra over the years, but my main focuses have been the two that you mentioned, and then the one that I added. I've done a lot of other things. I'm certified as an energy healing therapist, a body mind counselor, and everything in my life has centered around embodiment. So
Mm-hmm.
anything that I could get my hands on that taught me how to dive deeper into my body and enjoy my body and love my body. And it's too many to say. I just love learning and expanding, nervous system regulation. Like, again, anything that had anything to do with the body, for me, the body is why we're all here on this planet. So if you didn't have a body, things would be really different on this planet, and you wouldn't be, I mean, you would, that's a different conversation, but you wouldn't have all of the pleasures that are available on this planet if you didn't have this particular body.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, because of the things that I experienced in my life, it was very easy for me to pop out of my body and to go out into the cosmos. So my practice has always been, how can I go deeper? How can I go deeper? And then that evolved into like, wow, what if I went deeper into my body and allowed myself to expand? What is that like? So too many to name, but that's the result of everything I've learned over the last 20 years. 50 years. I've been on this planet this body has been on this planet for 50 years. And I have done everything to explore everything that I could explore in this realm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's incredible. That I know I'm in that place too in my life of moving into being an elder.
Mm,
And it's a pretty incredible experience. And I think that we are learning, like we're kind of like on the edge of a new way to be an elder. I'm 48. And so, I had this voice. Like I just hear these voices in my head sometimes that are very inspiring. They're very directive. I think that is one of the gifts of the feminine, is that intuitive, the intuition, the things that come to us that seem from like the 5D or from like beyond the rational, right? And the voice just said, or the words and were, if you're looking around, I was in a plant medicine journey. And it was like, if you look around and you don't see an elder, you're the elder.
yeah.
Act accordingly.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
It was it was big for me because I had always felt, most of my adult life had felt young for my age. People always thought I was younger than I was. I was 36. People thought I was 26. And culturally, that was a good thing, right? Culturally, as a woman, I've always been told you want to look younger, you want to look young, stay young forever, right? That is the ideal of womanhood. And not, so I think I did that consciously or unconsciously. And then as I got older, I was like, actually, I don't think this is a compliment anymore. Like, do I seem naive? Do I seem like I don't know what I'm talking about? Do I seem like I doubt myself? What is it that has me seem younger than I am? Because I actually want to walk into a room and have a big impact on the room. I want to be of benefit, right? So to me, what that's another genius of the feminine, is that we have this huge impact field around us. And I didn't know that I had it, first of all, and then I didn't even know how to use it most of my life. So a lot of my practices, orgasmic meditation, S factor, um, human design, so many of the lineages, traditions that I follow are all about learning my inner world of how to, like, just knowing that I do have this magnet, this life force energy that is affecting the world around me all the time, whether I'm aware of it or not. And then learning how to use it intentionally rather than it just like coming out of my neck sideways and causing wreckage or things that I don't actually want. Um, so I can relate to, that really sparked something for me just in this moment about age, that you said that, and that you like said that loudly and proudly. And I think we are creating the new womanhood now. Like, what does it mean to be in your late 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s? What does it mean of every age of womanhood? How do we want to define it? Not how does the culture define it, not how do men define it, not any of those other things, or even how other women define it, but like, how do I define it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Be self-defining.
Yeah. I love this. I love this. When you said the word elder, something arose about how we're defining that through age. And I have met 20 women in their 20s who I'm just like, oh, wow, you're so like advanced, right?
Truly.
Um, so elder, if it wasn't about the age of the body, or because I feel like there's these new beings coming onto this planet that are teaching us so many things if we would just open to receive them,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And it's funny, I was like, I don't consider myself an elder in the way that we have currently defined it, as in it's because you're older. I mean, I'm sure the word, I'd have to look it up, but if I tune into, and I mean, how many lifetimes have I been a priestess? How many lifetimes have I been an erotic priestess? You know, and I've brought that knowledge with me as long as I'm willing to remember it. And that, I think, is available for people who desire that. And it's funny because this came up in my priestess circle, are the person who is leading us in that, we're entering this wise woman archetype. And she's like, but I'm not old. And I'm like, but you're so wise, right? And if we didn't judge youth in either way, right? Oh, well, you're young, so you don't know anything. If we didn't judge youth, then what could we receive from them? If we didn't judge aging, well, you're too old, you're out of, what could we receive from them? This is about, for me, it feels like a conversation about opening to receive from everyone, from the feminine. How could the world be different if the masculine and the feminine could really truly receive from each other, receive those gifts that each of us hold? How could we, because for me, the future is the balance of the feminine and the masculine. And right now, the feminine is really having to root herself because we've experienced what we've experienced in the past. We're really having to root ourselves and be really loud and all of that. And I also want to include the masculine in that because we need you. I have so many experiences where I was able to be more in my feminine because of the masculine around me, because of the masculine within me. So yeah, that's what arose from what you were saying. I just really, it's just been really loud in my universe right now. The more that we as women can claim ourselves and our beauty and our eros, and our boundaries, and then we can receive from that divine masculine presence, which we need each other. We need each other. That's what I'm seeing as the future. And there's definitely, if we're talking about the body, right? The body that is the feminine body that is connected through the womb to creation, and that can birth, right? That's one piece. And the more we are supported by the masculine structures, the more we can melt into that. Just feel like there's so much out there right now. There's just a lot of all things out there. I'm not going to go to what's out there. Let's just stay with what's here, because let's not get that started.
Yeah, that was I love that we're talking about age and wisdom. Like, that was not a topic I thought we would be diving into, but here we are. My stepdaughter Alia is 26 and she is brilliant. She is so emotionally intelligent, beyond what I was at my age. But I mean, she has resources I didn't have, and she has a culture I didn't have, and she gets to stand on our shoulders.
Yeah.
And I could not be happier. Like, I love the things that she says that they inspire me.
Yeah.
And like you said, they blow me away. And I think that ties into the feminine, or women admitting that we know at all ages, even men. I'm the feminine in all of us. Like you said, we all have masculine, we all have feminine. It takes both. Can't have a flower without the masculine and feminine. You need life force energy and you need structure, right? So you need both. So we don't need to demonize anybody here. But what I think is important right now is to amplify the feminine, the language of the feminine, the voice of the feminine, reclaim it, remember it, and revalue it, because we have demonized it in our culture. Sexuality, the erotic, the feminine is all deemed as not as important, dangerous, even. There's been so many, and not just by men. It's not
Yeah.
just men that are doing it. It's also women.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think everyone has good intentions. On the inside, everyone thinks they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
No one thinks I'm evil and I'm going to just be
Right.
evil. No one thinks that. Everyone thinks that they're right and
Yeah.
they're doing what's best, whether it's for them or whether it's for other people. Even the people doing the worst things on the planet think they're doing the right thing for them.
Yeah.
Right. So I just think it really is women admitting, like, no, we know, I know, and I'm going to be responsible. I think it's women taking on the responsibility, not the responsibility of, like, taking the kids to school, plus having a career, plus being hot, that's not the responsibility I'm talking about. I'm talking about the responsibility of shaping the world.
Yeah. The
Um,
responsibility, I feel like, of claiming and reclaiming our own feminine and like stopping the demonization, like the internalized patriarchy, right? Like really standing in our own power and allowing other women to stand in their own power. This is reminding me, I saw like Meryl Streep, a video or whatever, and she was saying that women have learned the language of the masculine. We've mastered it.
that's
And
right.
it's
Yep.
time for the masculine to learn the language of the feminine. And that's how we bring it into balance, And it starts with us. It starts with us. How do I reclaim my feminine language? And how do I stand in that power and stand in that truth and radiate that? And anything that's like, just, this is my space. This is, I am this feminine creature. I am not ashamed. I am loud. I am weird and funny and beautiful and quirky. And I get really angry sometimes. And to embody all of those things and be like, and I am safe and this is okay, claiming it for ourselves first and then allowing it in others with boundaries and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I see you doing. I see you living that. Like, you're really walking the talk.
Thank you.
So, I
I'm
mean, I was
walking
going
the
to ask
talk and I'm
you.
doing the work and all the things because there is no, like, the internal voices of demonization. Those are the first ones that we need to kick. Is how we speak to ourselves, how we love ourselves, how we internally hate ourselves. You do that work first, right? And just don't worry about anybody else quite just yet. But when you've mastered that, then you're in that secure place to be able to be that out in the world so that no matter what comes at you, you're staying rooted and grounded in that. And that's how I think things can shift, but not this pointing fingers and, like, you were going to ask me something else. And I kept talking.
I think that's why I love being around you so much, is because you are a practitioner, like a deep practitioner. And I don't think that it matters almost what it is that you're practicing. As a human being, I almost don't think it matters what your lineage is, because at the core of them all, of practice, is this getting in touch with your inner self and attention training practices, and then I think with that comes this sense of just knowing what's true.
Yeah.
but it's when you take on the mantle, or when you take on the, when you identify with philosophy, theory, ideas, spirituality, religion, politics, whatever it is, but you have no practice to
Mhm.
deepen, to like have an actual experience of those things, and then it's all theoretical. Then it just gets lost in the world of thoughts and ideas, right? So then that's the masculine. We don't have the feminine, the embodied, the in the body experience of it. Experience guru, I like to call it. Um, so, one of the questions I was going to ask you was, what do you feel like is the role of the feminine on the planet right now? But you just answered it basically. So I love that we just naturally went there. Um, what do you see as your purpose
Mm.
in your life? Like, what is your gift that you're here to give to benefit the world?
My gift has always centered around embodiment in the body. Um, Body being beloved. Those are the three to me, like that's the three that we need to focus on and be with on an individual level. And once you have mastered that on the individual level, then to take it into partnership and relationship. And partnership and relationship is going to bring you all kinds of other lessons around your body, your being, and the beloved. And by the beloved, I mean whatever word you would like to use for the divine, God, goddess, consciousness, like, because we are an expression of creation. And to cut that part off, right? There's a lot of religious blah, blah, blah. I've got my own trauma with all of that. But to cut that piece off is a huge piece of you. You are the beloved. You are the divine. You are God, goddess incarnate, expressing itself in this world. You with your being, with your body. So for me, I think that I'll always be a champion for embodiment and for bodies and for really exploring the magical capacities and abilities that you have when you fully embody your body. That is whether that body is feminine or that body is masculine. And shout out to the new beings that are coming into this planet challenging that, and not wanting to conform to that. I love that. I think it's so exciting, and I wonder where we'll be in 100 years. And this is what I'm here to do, is really to empower women in their sexuality and their sensuality and their spirituality, so that they can come to everything full and alive and in all of their just bigness, right? And then there is work with the men. Wow, how do I contain, or not, how do I hold and be with this bigness and stay centered and present in myself and hold? Because that's what we need, I think. Really grounded, present. And there are many out there, men that can hold and be with the big, I don't like that word hold, but it's what's coming out right now. Be with the bigness of the feminine, the bigness of the power of Eros and creation. What else can we create if we unleash that power? So there you go. That's my spiel. Body, be.
What do you, I mean, and that just naturally brought us to the next question, which is, what is your grandest vision of the world shaped by the feminine?
The word that is coming is matriarchy. And I want to just talk a little bit about that, because in matriarchy, everyone is included, everyone is taken care of, everyone gets to be, right? So I'm not speaking matriarchy as the inversion of patriarchy, which is where women are in charge, because that's not matriarchy. Patriarchy is like the triangle, you know, one person at the top decides everything for the people at the bottom, and it trickles down like that. In matriarchy, we're talking a circle. It's community. It's community where, you know, it takes a village to raise a child, or, you know, take care of the household. It takes a village. That's really what I feel like. I had this moment a while ago where I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being mad at the patriarchy. I'm so tired. That's not
I
so.
am too. I know. I got tired a really long time ago of being
Yeah.
mad at
Well,
the patriarchy, you
yeah,
know,
you know,
like it just didn't seem to be getting us anywhere.
yeah, I was so seeped into it that it took me a long time to even be able to see those threads in my life. And, you know, it brought up anger. And that's okay to be angry. It was some fucked up shit. Hope we can cuss. And it was some fucked up shit for the men as well as for the women. But I'm tired of being angry. Um, in the the anger that doesn't create. That's what I'm tired of, because
Right.
anger can fuel you towards
Amen.
change. So I'm like, I wanted to shift, you know, this internal anger. This life is so unfair and but I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Latin, so I come from a very traditional, patriarchal, structured family. The man says and do what he, you know, and so I had some anger to work through that, and I want to name that, because as women, we are responsible for working through that energy and turning it, transmuting it, alchemizing it to an anger that fuels forward creation. I forgot what my original point was, so I'm just gonna stop there.
Well, do you like, yeah, what is your vision of the world then shaped by the feminine
Yeah, matriarchy. But
matriarchy?
matriarchy also would include a healthy version of patriarchy.
Mm,
I don't know what that is yet. I don't know what that would look like, but the question arose for me the other day of like, well, what if we didn't judge patriarchy? It's okay to be angry at it right now because it has caused a lot of damage, but somewhere along the line, we agreed to partake in this patriarchal experiment.
exactly. Women are just as culpable as men, is my
We said,
opinion.
okay, also, because we had matriarchy structures before, and somewhere along the line, we all decided to experience this together to see what would happen. And now
Hmm.
we're like, oh, this didn't really work. So now what are we going to do? And
Yeah.
I had this vision, and it was the words matriarchy and patriarchy, and then there was an infinity symbol around them. And I was like, well, that's interesting. Um, what are the healthy versions of all of those? Because like light and shadow, light and dark, like we need all of it. So what does that look like? I don't know what my I don't know what my vision means yet, but it's there.
I love this vision though. It's so cool. I like you just painted it for us. Like I just think that is a gorgeous, like you know, the skill of the feminine to be able to paint beautiful images, visions, pictures that we maybe don't, maybe they're non-rational,
Yeah.
you know, like maybe we don't know exactly how it's going to play out in like functionally.
Yeah.
But you have a hint of it.
Hmm.
It's like almost like a perfume, or it's like it's transmitting in a nonverbal way. Um, so that's a gorgeous feminine genius right there, and valuing that, you
Yeah.
know, and really saying like, great, that this is super important, this is super valuable, this is going to be helpful. Now how do we like the just like you said, the world, men and women, have all learned the language of the masculine so exquisitely. We're so skillful at it. Let's learn the language of the feminine. and
Mhm.
get skillful at that.
Yeah.
All of us, women and men.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to name also for the language of the feminine that I don't need to know what it means to go forward with it. I don't need to
Mm,
figure it out. I know that I will be like, oh wow, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, show me more. And the universe, God, goddess, creation, cosmos, eros will lead me. I'm just gonna let that land. For anyone watching who's but how do we do that and what does that mean, and let's try to figure it out, and let's get it on paper, and let's get our ducks in a row, and let's make a plan, and like that's the language of the masculine, which is needed and amazing. And as soon as that reveals itself to me, then I will continue moving forward in that direction. But right now I'm with the the energy of the cosmos. Look at, if you could see how I'm sitting, the energy of the cosmos, and it'll run through my body, through my experiences, and through what I'm here to do, and then something will be birthed. I don't have to know exactly what it is right now in order to move forward with it. What I can trust is my desire for the good of all, not the good of just me, but the good of all. That is like what I came here with and for always. Like my mom would, my people would ask me when I was little, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I was like, I want to be happy. Well, what do you want to do? I just want to be happy. I want to support people and empower people. Well, do you want to be a lawyer? Do you want to be a doctor? It's like, I don't, you know? So I know from within me that I want to empower people, that I want to create a greater planet. Just I want us to keep moving forward evolutionarily, and I want to be happy. And so, yeah,
mm.
show me, show me, show me, universe, show me. And I keep taking those steps. So I feel like I'm speaking balance of masculine and feminine, like how to really embody both of those. Um, and I'll stop now.
What? Don't stop. Keep going.
I want to make sure that everyone is with me. So I'm allowing the space for any questions that need to arise to clarify anything I've said, or for you, right? Um, so I'll
Yeah.
stop and
I mean,
see.
always, I always have something to say. I'm just gonna be honest. I
Do. I
always.
want you to share. I want you to share in this experience with me.
So I just think that that's another thing for women to admit, is that we always have something to say, and stop pretending that we don't, because it's more convenient, or, it's less scary. I do think that, you said like it hasn't been working, like patriarchy hasn't been working. And I think it has worked to a certain extent. It just matters what your end game is.
Mm,
Like, why are you doing it? What are you doing it for? I love that quote. If you want to go far, go alone. No, no. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
mm,
And
mm,
I think that that is kind of like that balance of the masculine and feminine that you were talking about. The masculine is great at going far, or going fast, at going fast, right? But it's not going to get very far
mm,
unless the feminine, the feminine is what takes us far. And we have to go together. It's going to slow us down. It's going to have us be in our body. We have to pause,
mhm,
feel all the inconvenient things, right? See the things we don't want to see, be uncomfortable. It's going to be very uncomfortable. I see like we're a culture obsessed with comfort, and I don't think that that's serving us. But I think that the masculine, the patriarchy, it got it, like our over reliance on it got us to a certain location that we're like, now we need something different. And the feminine genius is that, like you were talking about, um, it's in its nature, it's connective. It connects us, and it wants the good of all. It wants to the benefit. Like we don't go until we all go, right? That's the feminine. Um, the feminine naturally, it has empathy.
Mhm.
It feels everything because we all are connected. Our bodies, our nervous systems are all connected. You can feel everybody's pain. Like I have been crying so much the past few weeks,
Yeah.
and for no reason, like no logical, no rational reason. But I do know that globally there's a lot of grief happening,
Mhm.
and I feel it.
Mhm.
So my practices that I do, I find myself crying in my ohms, or crying in S factor, or crying in sex even. And at a certain point, I'm like, I'm tired of crying.
Yeah.
And it just, it's like, it has to move through. And then, like you said, doing like moving towards like creating, right? Then it's kind of like the grief, just collapsing under the grief would not be of service, would be of service to no one. But feeling it, letting it move through, crying wherever I am, as inconvenient as it is, right? Rather than saying, oh, I'm in the grocery store, this isn't a good time to cry, like just stopping and crying. And also, I don't go to the grocery store. I do Instacart. But anyway, so one of the conveniences of living in LA, I just have to admit, I just have to be 100% honest. I
But
don't,
the example is valid. It's
but
valid.
anyway, um, so, and then creating from that, right? I'm like, okay, there is grief, there is sadness. What's underneath that? What do I want to create? How do I want to use this? Like you said, also, it's like moving through the felt, by the felt sense, letting the felt sense guide us, which is it's how something feels rather than how it looks. And
Mhm.
I know that's a really deep philosophy in orgasmic meditation. It's a really deep philosophy in S Factor. I'm not as familiar with erotic blueprint, but I know
Mhm.
that it talks a lot about how things feel rather than how they look.
Yep.
Also, I'm not very familiar with the 13 moons priestess lineage, but they all seem to have a through line of the feminine, right? Voices of the feminine, valuing the feminine, exploring the feminine, practicing this language of the feminine. And it really has to do with more than how things feel than how it looks. So even like the world today looks like a complete disaster, right? The president of America, it's like very, very controversial, very, very difficult in some of his choices. And yet, on a felt sense, it really feels like things are changing.
Mhm.
Even though it looks like it's the end of the world, to me, it actually feels like things are dismantling so
Mm.
that they can evolve and they can change and we can create the new. And to me, that's very exciting. So
100.
I'm like, rather than collapsed into hopelessness over how things seem, I feel inspired to, I'm like, well, no one else is going to do it. I'm going to go out and do it.
Mhm.
Right. Because I have this vision that I see of how I want things, my desire, this thing that, I was raised born again Christian. So many religions demonize desire, right? The attachments of the flesh or whatever. And it's like, well, there's something under that. That is the reason, that is like what that has life happen. That is why life, right? Which is this creative drive that we all have,
Yeah.
and however we choose to use it. So what I love this moving from, I think that really is like the genius of the patriarchy is like the good of the individual, but the genius of matriarchy is the good of the collective. So we're moving into the good of the collective.
Mhm.
Businesses that thrive now are businesses that are of benefit. Um, so how is what like lay the path out for me. How do you see the work that you do, your genius? How does it, and you know, you may have already said it, but I just want to hear it in your own words. How does that create this vision of the unity, the infinity sign around matriarchy and patriarchy? How does what you do, your genius, your purpose, creating that in the world?
Well, you're giving me more information with everything that you just shared, um, because I think both are important. The good of the individual and the good of community. And the way to create it, what I am in my journey right now, and in 10 years I might say something different, so don't hold me to it. But in my journey right now, it starts.
That's the feminine,
I
right?
know,
It
right?
changes its mind constantly. It evolves. It's never the same.
Well, yeah, it's not
Change
even,
your mind.
yeah, it's not even like a changing of the mind. It's an evolution of where I
Right.
am right now,
Right.
right? So we're in a big process of evolving. And how can I honor myself, the good of the individual, and honor the community, the good of community? That's why I think they're both in that infinity symbol, because they just, it's a constant, okay, this is what I would like, and what's the impact to my community? Okay, it's not the best for my community, so how do I take care of myself through that? What else is available that would be yay for me and yay for the community? I feel like it has to be both. As a woman who has given herself up over and over and over and over again for the good of the community, or the good of my boyfriend, or the good of my parents, or the good of religion, or the good of whatever, I have
Martyrdom,
to,
right?
I have to pour into myself first. I have to. And I think that's something that the feminine, that martyrdom energy of like, I have to give and it's my job to take care of everybody else. And it's like, nah, bitch, it's your job right now to take care of you. Come whole into yourself, fill your cup to overflowing, and you give from the overflow. And the second that overflow like is depleted, even just a little bit, you stop, fill you more, you more, and then. So I really feel like it's both. That's why this question of like, what if we didn't judge the patriarchy? Like, what is available beyond all of these constructs? And we've come here to experience ourselves. We, as divine beings, we have come here to experience this world. So, and my pleasure serves the pleasure around everybody. If I'm joyful, I mean, you just said it in my intro. If I'm full and overflowing and joyful and happy and in my pleasure, and then it has an impact on the people around me. If I'm, if I'm experiencing sadness or anger or whatever, being present with those feelings and not stuffing them down, but being present with those things and acknowledging them and allowing them to inform where I need to shift and change, that's going to be the good for the community as well. So I don't think it's an either or. I think it's both.
Mhm.
And right now we're in that rebalancing process. I may be really in the future. I usually am. I think the feminine usually is way in the future, pulling what needs to come, to take us there. So I don't know.
That's a really interesting idea because, you kind of, I think there's this idea that the masculine is really, futuristic because of thought, and feminine is in the present because it's body. But, I just had this idea that, well, when a fetus, a female fetus, is in utero, she contains all the eggs that she will ever have in her life
Mhm,
when she's still in utero.
mhm.
So that's the future. Like
Well,
we contain the future, right?
we, yes, you are 100% correct. And we decided that the future was women having babies for the future. Does that make sense? Like, because we have the ovaries, there's been this decision that that it means babies, and it does. And it's also awareness, expansion, connection to the void, connection to the divine.
Mm,
uh and that's not to say that there aren't men out there that are it practice in this feminine principle. I think that's a feminine principle, whether you're a man or a woman. That's a feminine principle, to expand your consciousness beyond right now.
right. Because then that's kind of, I mean, I think you're right in that, because time is masculine, but timelessness is feminine. Like the past, present, and future, everything existing right now in this moment, which is, the only moment that actually exists. And then the idea of all possibilities,
Mhm.
everything being possible. Like,
That is a feminine, like, we're always aware. That's why we always want more,
mhm.
because we are aware that there is more, that there is more available. Oh, in partnership, like, God bless my ex, I'd be like, hey, this is a problem and we need to work on
T-shirt that says "God bless my ex." That is
this.
such a great.
Because, it's like, oh, we got to work on this and this isn't really working for me. And oh, okay, let's do it, and he's done all this work. He's like, okay, I did all the work. I'm done. I was like, oh no, now there's this other thing. We always want more. There's always a desire for greater than right now. I think that's a feminine.
100%. I love that so much. I literally had a conversation with my husband, Matt, years ago, where he was like, God, like every time you take a workshop or a class and you just say like that's gonna be it, and then you're done, but then you want to take another one. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I will want to take workshops for the rest of my life. It will never end. I want to take this one, and then I want to take the next one, and I want to take a million of them. And that is going to be the rest of our life. So,
Take it or leave
that's
it.
just let's just be real here. Let's just,
Yeah. But
and I had to admit that like, that was good,
and yeah,
that wasn't actually a problem, that was that was important, that was necessary.
and
Right.
that is for a very long time. I've been in this field for 20 years. So 20 years ago, you would have one man in a workshop. That's changed. We have a lot of other things now, and I see some incredible men here, right? More than one. Yay, right? One of the things, actually, it was Sheila who said this, and when she said this, I was like, what?
Sheila Kelly from S
Yes, from
Factor. Yeah, the originator or the creator of S Factor.
Yes, and she said the reality is that the feminine expands and opens and grows, and then the masculine follows. In this sense, right? Well, this is where some things get a little bit, because we've been so taught that men are the leaders, and they are. I'm not discounting that. And women are leaders in other areas. Like, we are both incredible leaders in our own geniuses, and we have
Right.
to learn how to appreciate those in the other. So the feminine, connected to the void, connected to all of creation, connected to all time, space, and dimension, expands and grows and is like, yeah, I'm aware of that future. Let's do it. I'm aware of that possibility. Let's go for it. Right. And we have to stand in that power. If we're wobbly, oh, can we do this? So what do you think about that? And
Right.
kind of,
Asking permission. Right.
you know, hey, I'm aware of this and I'd like to go for it. You with me? Can you, like, hold the structure for me to like like take us all, right? What did I've heard it said, the feminine is the, what's the word? I'm gonna say expander. Like, whatever you give to the feminine, she will expand it and create it. You give her a house, she will create a home for you. You give her semen, she will give you a human life. You know, we just expand everything. And I know I'm using, we just expand everything. Let me just leave it at that. We expand everything. So what are you giving? Because I think that's very masculine, to give. We receive. We receive and we expand. So what are you giving me? Because I'm gonna take that, run it through my system, run it through my body, and I'm gonna multiply that and give it back to
Alchemy.
you.
That's what I hear
Yeah.
you talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Mhm.
multiply that and give it back to you. So you giving me a hard time, you're gonna get 3 times the hard time. I'm gonna try first. I'm gonna try. Hey, this doesn't work for me. Hey, that's and if you listen, we can shift and we can change and we can grow. But if you're gonna be stubborn in your own, it's gonna multiply and come back to you, and you're gonna be like, wow, what happened to my beautiful feminine woman? And she's like, so angry.
Oh girl, we're yeah, that the power of anger to create, right? That's a whole other topic. Well, we're at the end of our hour. This was so like rich and fun. And I feel like we could talk forever. We could, like, because that's what we do when
Let's
we're
go have
like,
lunch. You want to
you
have
know,
time to go get some lunch? I'm available.
exactly.
We're literally
Um,
down the street from each other.
it's incredible. I love it. It's the talk about a resource, a woman who is bold and brilliant and knows her genius, is willing to go first. That is a resource right there, and I need that in my life. That's why I started this podcast. I'm like, let's get our women voices. We need to go first, and we need to get out there. We need to say it the way it is. So thank you for doing that with me. Thank you for going first with me.
Thank you for going first.
Yeah.
This is matriarchy. You go first, it invites me, we expand, then I go first, it invites you, and then you expand, and that's the whole point. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for going first.
Yeah. We do it together. So come on, ladies, all the rest of the women in the world, get it together. You know who you are.
We need you.
uh,
We need all of you, the ladies
yeah,
and the gentlemen. We need all of you.
yeah, exactly. All right. Thank you so much, Patty. This was epic. And all right, I'll see you in S Factor.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. All right, go out and create. Stay turned on. Bye.